First, you draw a circle, then you dot the I's, add a great big smile, and presto, it's Kirby! Hello everybody, SlimKirby here. Welcome to the next project of the NES Marathon. Yes, I am aware that I have not done this game yet in the 9 years I've been on YouTube, but finally I will be doing Kirby's Adventure for the NES. And no, like, I wasn't just, like, saving this game or holding out on this game or anything like this for this marathon or anything like that. For the longest time, I actually wasn't really the biggest fan of this game. I played it once on the Virtual Console when it came out, didn't really enjoy it that much. I played it again for the Kirby's Dreamland Marathon I did back in, God, I don't even know when that was anymore. But, you know, during those playthroughs, I was just kind of underwhelmed by this game. But recently, I've played this game a lot more, even got to play the Nightmare in Dreamland remake/report of this game. And, you know, I started to like it a little bit more, and honestly, of all the games I'll be playing in this marathon, this probably is my favorite of all the games. So do not worry, I do enjoy this game. I don't hate this game by any means. It just kind of took me a while to get into it. I don't know what it is, it just kind of took a while. But I'm glad that I can finally play it for you guys, because like I've said just a few seconds ago, I do kind of enjoy this game a lot more now. So yeah, let's go ahead and go back to the main screen here. Created in 1993. This was actually not the first Kirby game. The first Kirby game was Kirby's Dream Land on the Game Boy, and then later a game for the NES was made in the form of this game, Kirby's Adventure. So that's kind of how the how this game kind of got started. I think even Pinball Land was before Adventure, but I don't know that for absolute fact or anything. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started here. First level we have is Vegetable Valley. And basically the game works on an overworld section. You have one level to start out with. When you beat that level, you'll unlock the second level and so on until you get to the boss and beat the boss. You can jump, you can swallow, but unlike in Kirby's Dream Land, this is the first game that introduced the copy ability. So yeah, Kirby did not actually start out with a copy ability. A lot of people think that that's Kirby's, you know, main thing, but he didn't actually have that in the very first Kirby game, which is a really interesting fact when you think about it, because yeah, when you think of Kirby these days, it's like, oh, he can swallow enemies and use their powers. That's awesome. That's something cool Kirby can do. But that's not how he started. There is a little secret right here that I will show off, because it is a cool little secret, where you can get the UFO ability, which is probably the most broken ability in the game. It's broken because it's you get really, really free-roaming movement. You have a charge shot that's devastating. You have kind of a up-close and personal ability that's also pretty good. It just has a lot of different abilities alongside of it that makes it, like, really, really good. And to actually counteract this power is you cannot take it with you to the next level if you make it through the level with this power. So you will not be able to keep the UFO ability, unfortunately. At the end of each level, you'll get this bonus game where you can launch Kirby into the sky and try to get some 1-ups. There is actually a secret with this bonus game where I believe if you, in order, if you get like 7, then 6, then 5, 3, 2, and all the way up to 1, you get like a huge, huge bonus of 1-ups. But it's really hard to do, and I'm not even going to be trying for that, so I'm not going to worry about it. But let's go ahead and take a look at this. This is a minigame, the Crane Fever. Use the buttons to move the crane and try to get a Kirby. A big one's hard to get, but worth it. So yes, you have a little crane game here. Let's see if we can get the big Kirby. I think he's probably going to drop. I don't know, he might not. Yep, he did. For this game, it's probably more worth it to just go for the little Kirby, because at least you can guarantee yourself that you'll get a 1-up for this. I think it's just if you get the small Kirby, it's 1 up. If you get the big Kirby, it's 2 up. And if you get one of them, you get to still use your second shot, so you can still get like 2 ups just by getting like 2 small Kirbys. Or you could get 4 up by getting 2 big Kirbys. That's really all there is to that game. But let us move on. I'm trying to think of other things to talk about in regards to this game to start out with. A lot of people were asking me for the longest time if I was going to be doing this game or Nightmare in Dreamland, because like I said earlier, Nightmare in Dreamland is kind of the it's a port of this game with updated Game Boy Advance graphics. It does look really, really good. And honestly, like, it probably is the superior game, but I have more of a personal attachment to this one, because I didn't have Nightmare in Dreamland for the longest time either. I didn't actually get it until it was recently uploaded to the Wii U's Virtual Console, or eShop, whatever you want to call it. So I didn't even have the game for the longest time. But yeah, like, Kirby's Adventure was the game I played first, and is honestly the game I feel is more accessible to me right now. But I do heavily recommend the Nightmare in Dreamland game if you'd want to play that as opposed to this one, because this one is definitely dated. This game also has kind of a weird, like, and there's a few NES games that have this little quirk, is on the left side of the screen you see kind of like a black border, like on the left side of the screen. I don't know why that is. I think it's just like has to do with the video hardware that the NES system was made with. But like in the capture device that I'm using, it'll get that little black bar, which is kind of annoying, but it's part of the game, so I'm gonna leave it in there. It's not gonna hurt it so much, because on the left side there will be a black border just in general, because I'm not gonna stretch this out in the widescreen or anything. Ooh, I got a 2. Maybe I can do this backwards. Do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Probably not. And I think it has to be counting up, if I remember correctly. But yeah, there are a lot of abilities in this game, although they're very, very basic. This is not like Kirby Superstar or Kirby's Return to Dreamland or Squeak Squad, where the abilities have like secondary properties. Basically what you see is pretty much what you get. Spark, you just kind of stand still and have a shield of sparks alongside you. This is, I believe, Burning. Oh, I got 2 of them. If you get 2 abilities, you get a random ability. Although sometimes it's not random. If you get a certain combination of enemies, you'll actually, if you don't press anything on the control pad, you'll actually always get a certain ability no matter what. Which is kind of interesting. I'll actually be using that trick later on in the project to get 100%. This will be a 100% playthrough, which means I will be getting all of the big switches in the game. Although you don't have to worry about that until, I think, World 3. It's either World 3 or World 2. We'll see when we get to that point. But in World 1, there are no switches whatsoever, so you can just kind of go through the levels, kind of have a leisurely stroll of sorts. Which, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. But also, getting back to Nightmare in Dreamland, one thing I think I will do is I'm not going to be doing this in the marathon, obviously, but later on down the line, the Game Boy Advance version actually introduced a mode called, I don't think it's called Meta Nightmare, but there is basically a Meta Knight mode in Return to Dreamland, or no, Nightmare in Dreamland. I'm sorry about that if I said Return to Dreamland earlier. But in Nightmare in Dreamland, there is a Meta Knight mode that you get after beating the game, which basically allows you to play the entire game as Meta Knight as opposed to Kirby. So I might do that mode later on for the Game Boy Advance to kind of represent that game. But as far as like a second playthrough, aside from like the graphics and stuff of that nature, the game really doesn't change at all. It's pretty much the same exact game. One of the biggest differences is that some enemies have like bigger hitboxes, and I'll definitely be pointing that out when we get to that point. But that's really about it. I don't think there's any real reason to actually cover the Game Boy Advance version. Much how I don't really think there's a reason to cover like Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, 3, and Lost Levels, because I covered the All-Stars versions of those games. And while I do think the All-Stars versions are easier just because of control and stuff of that nature, it's still essentially the same games. So there's like no reason at all to do those. And that's kind of why I'm on the fence about the Super Mario Advance games as well, because while there are some definite differences in those games, I mean, it's still essentially the same game, as good as those games are. That's why when I did Yoshi's Island, I did the Game Boy Advance secret levels as extra videos, because while, you know, it isn't a different game, it's still essentially the same gameplay and idea. Oh, okay, I didn't get 3. Pressed the A button at the wrong time. Oh, well. Okay, so we're at the first boss of the game. I wonder who it's going to be. I wonder who we're going to be fighting. Oh, of course. Well, that was easy. That was very, very easy. Also, there is a really neat naming convention for the world names. First we had Vegetable Valley. Here we have Ice Cream Island. And no, I'm not just saying, oh, they're all food related. They are, but actually, no, they're not. There's one level that's technically not food related. But there is a naming convention, the reason why they're named these specifically. But we'll keep going through. We'll keep going through the levels before I fully reveal the big secret with that. It's kind of similar to what they did in Kirby's Return to Dreamland. I'll just say that much anyway. But yeah, I don't know why I didn't really take to this game that much at first. I think it's because I played Superstar, like, way before I played this game. And because of that, like, this game just feels, like, really dated compared to games like Kirby Superstar, for example. And as a result, I just didn't really enjoy it that much. But I've definitely come to liking it a bit more, honestly. Some of the power-ups are cool. And like, it's not really a long game. It's kind of a decently linked game. Like, it's an NES linked game, so it's a very easy playthrough. Doesn't take a whole lot of time to beat. Okay, well now I got 3. I'll make it my goal, even though if it's not in order to get like the super secret life bonus. Maybe I'll try to get every single thing in this project, maybe. Press the button to make Kirby's mouth open. Try to eat eggs, but not bombs. Okay, another minigame we have. I missed a few eggs. At least I didn't get a bomb, though. Ugh! I don't know if I'd be okay with just chicks jumping out of my mouth. That'd be kind of weird. Oh well. It is what it is. But yeah, this is the first game that introduced, well, this is the first game that introduced power-ups. I guess I can't really say that with so much conviction. It's like, oh, well, this is the first game with this power-up debuted. Well, it's the first game where every power-up debuted, unless it didn't debut in a future game, so guess I can't really use that fun fact. But yeah, for the longest time, I thought Tornado was just a Kirby's Dream Course power. Because, remember, I played Kirby's Dream Course before I played this game, so I didn't know anything about Tornado. But let's be real, I mean, Tornado is the best power-up in Dream Course. At least in my opinion. Also, here's Wheel Kirby. This was before Kirby got the red hat that he wears with Wheel Kirby, which which was the dedication for my icon, basically. Okay, wait, is this another Kirby Crane game? Yep. You'll see a lot of the same mini games, unfortunately. I think I'm not gonna get this. It's probably gonna do the same thing it did before. Oh, no, okay, well I got it. I'm okay with that. Maybe I can get 4 lives here. That looks good. But will it be good? Nope. Whenever he does that, like, you know he's gonna fall. I don't know what it is, but it seems like whenever he has that pose, he's gonna fall. Sometimes he doesn't. I've seen a few times where he didn't, but usually that is the case. Okay. I still have wheel. Do I want to still use it, though? Probably not, but I'll keep using it until I find another power-up. That's kind of the thing I like doing in this game, just kind of going through the game, seeing all the power-ups. Oh. Come on. Fine! Okay, I need to use sword for this anyway. But, yeah, whenever I see a power-up I haven't used before, I can just, like, very easily switch to it. Man, am I just, like, not getting this? Come on. Whatever. I mean, it's not going to take us anywhere important. I think it just takes us to that one-up over there, but, it is what it is. I'm not going to cry about it. Ouch. I am going to say ouch about that, though. Yeah, I think that is just to get that one up. Well, now I could use something else. Oh wait, that's to get up there. Actually, no, it's not. Well, actually, yeah, I should have kept the sword. Whatever. Uh-oh, Meta Knight. What are you doing here? He was there earlier to give us that lollipop, but now he's, like, sending his goons at us. It's like, whose side are you on, buddy? It's kind of Meta Knight's thing, though. God. Yay. I killed all of his soldiers. Now he has no army left. I'm okay with him having no army left, though. Okay, I got 4. Or did I get 4 earlier? I don't think I did. Also, pay attention to the coloration of the door. Notice how they're white. Basically, the white door tells you that you've 100%ed that level. Which, you know, that hasn't really been a concern because we can't, like, we haven't got to the what determines 100% yet, but in the future, that will be a thing. So if you see a door that doesn't turn white, there's something you missed in that level. And it's something you probably need to go back and take a look at. Ouch. Well, whatever. I got healed. That's all I cared about. I'm honestly surprised I haven't died yet, to be honest. I mean, this is not a hard game, and they give you plenty of lives. And even if you die, it's one of those games where it's like, well, okay, you died, but you get to start the level back where you were anyway, so it's like, there's nothing you really have to worry about. Also, here's the mic ability. Much like all the other uses of Mike in other Kirby games, you get 3 shots at it. And you can actually tell how many uses you have of an ability like that, a special ability, because if it's a special ability and you look to your life counter, you'll have like a star icon and it'll show like either 1 or 3. If it shows 1, you only have 1 use. If it shows 3, you have 3 uses, like the Mike ability, so that's how that works pretty much. Here's Laser. Laser's pretty cool. It allows you to use super awesome geometry skills, as I like to call them anyway. Let's just skip all these enemies. Oh, I got 4 again. Dang it. I want to get all the point values. Oh, excuse me.